Hey everyone, welcome to the Earth Intuitive Podcast. My name is Brittany and I'm a certified Ayurvedic health counselor, yoga teacher, and really soul seeker. This podcast is for sensitives, empaths, and those who find nature and holistic health to be the key to lasting freedom and wellness in their lives. So today, I just want to briefly talk about the energies we are in right now. It's been quite intense, and everything I share on this podcast is going to be a little bit of a blend of energetics, of kind of the energies of where we're at right now. I use the practice of Tarot and just my own intuition. It's also going to be holistic health, so things about sleep, digestion, energy, feminine wisdom and power, and it all works together as complete and total medicine. In the East, we see all of this medicine as one. It's not separate. And so medicine can be energetic medicine, physical medicine like herbs and remedies, lifestyle medicine, mindset shifts. It all works together. And so on this podcast, you're going to experience all of it. And I'm so excited to dive in today with you. So I want to actually share a personal reading I did this morning. It's a beautiful, kind of rainy Sunday morning. We have nothing planned today. And I just felt the need to do a little bit of a practice and to carve out some space to light a candle and pull some cards. And I want to share this reading because it's not just personal, it's very collective right now. As we're moving through these last few weeks of the snake year in the Chinese astrology, the Lunar New Year comes on February 17th. So it's coming up pretty quick. And so a lot of us may be experiencing just this residual purge, whether it's in your physical health. I've been experiencing that a lot the last couple months. A lot of chronic health issues have really come to the surface, but I'm seeing so clearly how it's tied to my emotional health. And maybe some of you are going through big losses, big transitions, big changes. Maybe you're single for the first time. Maybe you're in a family for the first time and you're adjusting. There's so many different things going on. You're changing jobs. You're not sure about your next step. Things may feel really uncertain and illuminating as well, as we're seeing on the collective stage. And I'm not going to talk about that in this podcast episode today. But I do want to talk about this reading because it's so relevant to all of us right now, especially if you're a sensitive person and a deep feeler. So this is from the Energy Oracle card deck by Sandra Ann Taylor. And I love to do oracle cards. I do tarot a lot, but oracle cards kind of bring a different energy. Sometimes they could be even clearer for what we may need at the moment. And I really felt like I wanted to work with this deck this morning. So where we're at right now, the first card I got is called The Garden and the Gate. And there's this young woman standing outside of this gate that's locked to a beautiful garden, almost like the secret garden. She has a key around her neck. Now, this reminds me, it's almost like a cousin to the Eight of Swords in Tarot. Eight of Swords is we feel like we're trapped. So in the Eight of Swords, the woman is bound. She's blindfolded, but her feet are still free, and there's actually space in the circle. So what she doesn't know is she can leave that entrapment at any time. We can see it as the onlooker, but she doesn't know that yet. She has to discover her own power. This card is a little bit like that, a little bit different though. There's this beautiful garden that's waiting for her. She's finally the first in line. She's been waiting for this for so long. She's been working toward this for years and years, and she's finally the first one in line. She's got her key. She's ready to go. And so she's just waiting for that permission to step forward, and we are almost there. So what does she need to do to get from that first place in line to walking through that threshold of the gate and coming into her own utopian garden? Well, that is patience, of course, trust and faith, but it's also releasing even more, releasing those residual things that have been stuck in there for a really, really, really long time. This brings us to the second card, attachment. Can't make this stuff up. In the attachment card, there's this beautiful woman holding a mask, contemplating the mask, and she's chained to a desk. And it's kind of this dark black and white image. We are being asked to, number one, release old attachments. This may be old relationships, could be a friendship, could be like a toxic relationship with a boss, setting boundaries with a family member. It could also be releasing addictions, whether that's substances, TV addiction, food addiction, some sort of addiction or attachment that we have that keeps us feeling comfortable, but not fully in our power. And you will know what that is for you. Okay. This is without judgment. It's just acknowledgement. But it's also what I found really interesting about this card. It's not always all about the past. This could be emotional patterns as well, but it's an obsession with the future. I, for one, know this very, very well. I remember being a kid and I lived in the Midwest. I was like, get me out of here. I don't like it here. I always was thinking about the future, and I made it happen. I was able to move to the East Coast for a while. Now I'm on the West Coast. I've been on the West Coast for many years. And I did reach that dream, and it was definitely meant for me. However, I was so miserable that I lived in this fantasy future world all the time. So it could be this fantasy of the future. It could also be worrying about the future too much, obsessing about the future too much. Okay, so this may be, if you've got a lot of changes coming up and you're feeling really anxious about the future. I know that I've been experiencing a massive amount of change this past year, and it's been everything I've ever wanted, but it's all hitting me at once, and it's been so overwhelming that I've gotten to these like panic modes that create physical ailments, actually. And so what my guides have been telling me, what this card has been telling me, is don't worry about the future. This year that we're in is the Wheel of Fortune year. The Wheel of Fortune is about massive changes. And if we don't stick to the center of the wheel and be extremely present with what we're going on today, what we're dealing with today, we're going to get swept up in the outside of the wheel, and we feel like we're in a spin cycle. We can't catch our breath. We can't find steady ground. I've been feeling this. I'm sure many of you have been feeling this, like, oh my gosh, I feel like there's just wave after tidal wave after tidal wave, and I'm drowning, and I just can't get my breath. I can't find that sense of calm. And sometimes the energy is just like this. And this is where massive transformation and change happens. And it builds strength. It builds our gifts. It, builds our resilience. And there's a way that we can make it easier on ourselves. And that is to get out of the mind. That is to get out of the mind. The first spiritual book I ever read was, it wasn't Be Here Now. It was like something about the present moment with Eckhart Tolle. I think a lot of you may know this book. And he was basically like, the only thing we know, the only thing that exists is this exact present moment. Yesterday didn't happen. Tomorrow doesn't happen. Now, whether I fully agree with that or not, the message is we only have right now. Things can change dramatically overnight, and we're not going to know it. I've experienced this recently. Recently, I let go of an attachment, a deep attachment to a substance that I was working with for 12 years. And 2 weeks before I finally let it go, I was like, how can I possibly let this go? It's been helping me. It's my medicine. How do I let this go? And my guide said, don't worry about letting it go right now. Just enjoy it. Let go of shaming yourself. Let go of pressuring yourself. That's creating way more problems. Just enjoy it. And I promise you it'll happen. When I really allowed myself to just accept where I was in that moment, 2 weeks later, I was able to let it go. And it happened really fast. So this is a message for myself and for all of us that it may seem impossible to accomplish our goals or to heal something in our lives or to change something in our lives or whatever it is you're working with. But if you can just take that one baby step at a time and just ask the question, well, what am I meant to focus on right now? Not the 4 other things I need to focus on this year or the next few months, but the one thing I need to focus on right now. Because guess what? When you drop all of your energy and intention into that, and you ask for support from your guides, from physical people in your life, all of your energy is going just to that thing, and it can change and transform so much easier that way. And so we are being asked to be extremely present, to get really honest with ourselves. What am I still holding on to? What am I making excuses that I can't let this thing go? Can I work with this right now? Or am I attached to the future? Am I worried? Am I stuck in this worry wart position? That can create so many issues in our body and our mind. It can keep us stuck because we're not fully feeling and opening to the present moment, which is going to be very different from the future. So these 2 energies of we are almost there, guys. We're almost there. But what do we need to do to get from here to this utopian future that we've been dreaming of for so long? We need to drop this old paradigm BS, okay? Whether it's lying to yourself, playing small in your community, in your family, in your workplace. Maybe you want to do something totally different with your career, but it's a really scary step. Of course, we don't want to make huge changes to the point where we're, we can't pay the bills, or our nervous system is totally out of whack. We want to still be realistic, but how can we get that support to make those big jumps toward our future? Okay. Last card I pulled was more about the future. What is this vision that we're heading into? And of course, I pulled the cornucopia. This is kind of akin to like a 10 of cups or 10 of pentacles energy. Abundance, success. We've made it. We've received what we've been praying for. And so there's usually this moment in so many different action movies or stories about heroines or heroes that they have to let something go and surrender and accept something for how it is before they receive what they really want. There has to be this moment of the release of the ego, the release of everything you want the way you want it. And there's this moment of when you can humble yourself and surrender, that's when you receive what you need and what you want. So we are getting there, but we're walking through this journey to get there. Just take a little breath here. That was a lot. And just know we're very close to this new year. We're coming into an eclipse. It doesn't mean that overnight everything is just going to magically pop into place, of course. But just know that if you've made it this far and you're still doing the work and you haven't given up, you're doing amazing, and it's just going to get better from here. I want you to congratulate yourself of how far you've already come. And I want you to realize that this is only just the beginning of everything you've dreamed of. And that in order to receive that rose, we have to walk through a lot of thorns. We have to go on a big journey. We have to go on a big marathon. We have to go on this epic tale, it's in so many movies. I'm even thinking of The Brave Little Toaster. When they went to go, find their owner, they had to go on this really big, scary adventure through the forest and through the waterfall and all the stuff. And they almost died and all the stuff happened, right? It's in so many tales that the heroine's journey is always going to be different than we expect. It may take us to places we never thought we would be taken to, but it builds strength and resilience. It builds strength and resilience, and it allows us to soften our boundaries, our restrictions. I kind of was like checking in with myself about my own transformation of what I'm going through in my life. And I'm like, wow, I'm kind of uncrossing my arms. I'm letting go of my rigidity and having things have to be a certain way. I'm letting go of all of that because I don't have a choice anymore. And I have a different life now and a totally different reality than what I've been used to the past 10, 15 years. So we can either acknowledge and accept where we're at now, which is probably what we asked for, or we can continue to resist it and just suffer even more and continue these cycles over and over and over again that we've been in. So during this time, obviously, number one, take care of yourself. Do a lot of journaling, ask for support, and know that you are almost to the finish line. In part, you may already be there. Parts of you may already be there. You may already be seeing success and signs of life. If you're searching for answers, they are coming. Okay? I've been checking in during this time so many times. And even in the darkest nights or the days where I didn't sleep, or I'm crying and I'm just upset and I'm like, how do I keep going on? That's when I see the signs of life. I see a beautiful sunset. I see a hawk. I've seen like 4 or 5 hawks this past 6 weeks. I feel a sense of joy and lightness that I've never felt before. I get a message from someone that reminds me that so much good is coming. So I don't have any certain answers yet with my health, with my life right now, but I know deep in my bones that things are getting better. So whatever it is you're walking through, you are not alone. Oftentimes when we are walking through these big, crazy, crazy times, that's often when we feel the most alone, but sometimes we need to be because we have to face ourselves. But just know you're not walking through this alone. And you will and are arriving at everything you've dreamed of. I'm going to end that here. And if you would like your own reading, I do offer them via audio recording. So you can head to my school community, my free school community. The link is in the bio. If you don't want to buy anything at all, I have free courses in there on Ayurvedic health, on nourishing your nervous system, and I do weekly free mini tarot readings for the community. This is a growing community. I would love to have you in there if you're a sensitive woman who just needs that extra support and more education around nourishing her sensitive body. So you can find that link below in the description. I am sending you all my love, and I will be back soon with another update.